What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. This is Eric the Cosmic Wizard, and this is Cosmic Tarot. This is going to be an Aries Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus reading, so eat the meat, spell the bones, take a resonate, and leave the rest behind. Alright, Aries, let's get into this reading. Ooh, what's this? Four of Swords. Someone is feeling restless here. Someone is, could be you, could be another person here. Emperor here in reverse. Knight of Swords here. Someone could be restless because of your confidence, or someone could be trying to send a message here to you about being more confident in yourself or being more courageous. This could be you at the moment, like trying to find maybe the courage, or maybe find the right type of find the right voice to say something here towards someone, to someone. Chariot here. Alright, Page of Wands in reverse. So there is definitely some hesitation towards something here with the Page of Wands in reverse. You've been feeling a little hesitant to go towards this new beginning here, this new idea, this new creative passion spark, or you've not been wanting to face the truth, or you've not been wanting to work on something here. The Ten of Wands here. Yeah. This could be a connection here that you've released yourself from the burdens of this connection here. This is given like family responsibilities here. You could have walked away from something here. The Strength card and the Queen of Pentacles. Leo energy maybe. Capricorn, Earth energy. Taurus, Virgo energy. Feminine. Aries, there's something here that you have kind of like thrown in a towel. There's almost connection here or something here that was very burdensome. Ten of Wands is like you freed yourself from this burden here, and it's like I don't want to talk about it. You've walked away, or you've chosen to close the door on the situation from the past here. I don't know. I don't feel like there's emotion. Yeah. Now we have the Seven of Pentacles. Now you're reflecting on it. You're reflecting on how you didn't take action and you kind of just walked away from a situation here, or you kind of maybe felt hopeless. Like I feel like the Ten of Wands is like you've thrown in the towel. Like you did everything you could and it just wasn't. Like it just wasn't reciprocated. It wasn't. It was like it was a dead hit. It was a dead end, yeah. Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands in reverse. Aries, you could have tried over and over again to communicate something here. I feel like, ooh. Queen of Wands, the Five of Pentacles in reverse with the Lovers, and the Sun card here. Oh, shit, hiding the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, here's the thing, though. Someone who you found very attractive, someone who was very, this could be you, Aries, as well. This very well could be you. The Queen of Wands is very much Aries women. Feminine energy, very magical, very abundant, very creative here. And I feel like you decided to, or this person here kind of like, I'm feeling like this person and you guys were on two different paths here. The Pentacles here, this is someone who was recovering from financial, instability, poverty, things like that here. And the Knight of Pentacles in reverse is someone who's, I feel like you've been recovering from just certain things here. It doesn't necessarily have to be financial, but there are things of the physical world: loss, grief, penitence. And I feel like this person here was not very receptive. You could have had a hard time. You or this person here, like you all didn't seem to get on for some reason here. But now I see the Lovers and the Sun card here. It's like someone here wants to come back. This is someone here wants to have this divine union here with you. This is someone here who is, you know, no, this isn't romantic love. This could be you. Like I always said, lovers could also be you finding your divine masculine and feminine balance within yourself, and you being really happy and secure in your inner child as well. Being happy here. Both. Honestly, this could be both. This could be you coming, recovering from a place of lack and being maybe stagnant here with like finances and what to do and where to, like, even where to direct your energy, where to direct your love, where do you direct your attention. I feel like in the past you've always, look, we're even rolling yellow, so this is definitely you. You know, you've always been someone to, you've been putting in a lot of work on fixing yourself. Either, you know, fixing your looks, going to the gym, eating better, doing this, doing that, whatever it is you need to do to take care of yourself. You've been doing those things, okay? I feel like people are starting to notice that about you as well. And you may be attracting people from the past, in my opinion, who kind of fumbled you because they were too busy being so Six of Swords here. Yeah, they wanted to go towards other things. They didn't value you at the time. They didn't value you at the time because of where you were, maybe where you know. People are. There it is, right there. And this is you. This is you. This is literally you. Oh my God, this is your story here. Here you are setting. You're moving forward. You're not even playing with these people here. I see you, Six of Swords. Now tell me this is like, come on now. Okay, you changed your tights and your shoes. Even here we see this person has on two different shoes. I wonder if that means, oh, okay, 1 foot here, 1 foot there. You know? And it's crazy though because you can see the transition from, and you know, this could just be coloring, and it could be thinking too deeply into this because, you know, this is just, it's probably like, oh, I just ran out of that color. I'm thinking way too deeply in here, but you see how these two shoes are different colors here, right? And then, honestly, I was going to say something like, you know, he's got 1 foot on the sea, a foot in each world, and then with the Six of Swords here he is committed completely to one path. Both shoes matching, but the tights are different colors. Probably going way too deep about that. Let's get back to the reading, y'all. What I'm saying is, you know, you take time to reflect over what happened here, but you don't hold on to shit for too long. You've already released this energy here, these burdens, these wounds, and I see you moving forward with the Six of Swords here. You have, this woman and this child here, these represent the memories of love and maybe your innocence, perhaps. You know what's left of it, or just weight, certain weight you can't just, you know, cleave off and just dispose of. Some of it stays with us here. Ooh, the Devil and the Two of Cups in reverse. Yeah, you could have walked away from a twin flame and it was very karmic, very this was a karmic soul tie. Someone here, yeah, it felt like true love, but it was a karmic soul tie. It was a trick. Two of Cups and the Strength in reverse. It was hard. It was hard to leave. This felt the Lovers in reverse. Yeah, 3 of Wands. But you did it. There's a lot of, you're starting to realize that a lot of people around you could be in relationships that you feel. Here's the thing. Ooh, the Moon. Something's, you know, you could have been like, you know, when is my person going to come? When is this love going to come into my life? Or this new opportunity, this job, this perfect, new beginning. Like, when am I going to get my chance? And I feel like, you know, you've been really patient. You've been doing the work. You feel like you're really working on yourself. You know, you're resisting temptations. You're putting down burdens and obstacles. You know, you could have been, like, some of you all could be on a sobriety journey. You could just be on a journey of clearing out clutter, you know, energetically, physically, spiritually, emotionally, you know, just going through it. Page of Swords, yeah. You're really putting in the work to improve your skills and improve your life, your communication, how you show up with yourself. Even just simple getting into routines, like going to the gym. You know, you've been in this page, like, immature, like, energy here, where you really haven't sat down. And I'm not trying to, like, you know, um, say, like, oh, you're immature, this, and this. But I don't think you've ever really had a time in your life where you really got to really just think about you in a way that you got to, like, develop, like, a deeper sense of self-worth, self-importance, self-love. Because none of this shit in this reading is, like, you know, emotion. It's all about security, stability, and, like, releasing. Which is, now's a good time to start thinking like that with the full moon coming up in a couple of days. You know, think about what you want to communicate to other people here. Your independence is important to you. And when you don't feel independent, it causes you to lash out. It causes you to feel like you don't like feeling like a kid. You don't like being treated like a kid. Excuse me. You could have had a lot of really codependent family members or just people around you. Ten of Cups here. This is like a family or a group of people who bring some type of, you know, emotional connection with. So family, work family, friend groups, stuff like that. There could have been a lot of codependent, you know, clingy ass bitches out there who just, you had to walk away from because they always needed this, they needed this. You need, like, you could never be your own person. You know, these people didn't give you time to breathe. Yellow is a lot. I'm wearing yellow too. Yellow is the solar plexus. So this is about confidence. This is about self-esteem and self-worth. Like, this reading is all about you improving on your self-worth, your self-esteem, how you feel about you. When you close your eyes at night, you lay down on your pillow. Like, do you feel like you did a good job today? Do you feel proud of yourself? I hope you do. Or at least you don't feel bad about yourself. We'll take what we can get. Judgment. I want you to not be so hard on yourselves. The Judgment card in reverse and the Two of Cups. You know, give yourself a little grace and a little more compassion because this whole human thing is difficult and you're doing the best you can with what you got, alright? So tell yourself that every fucking day. You know, life doesn't come with a manual or an instruction book, and don't say the Bible because that's a lame ass answer. But for some people, I guess it is their answer. But to me, it's not a good answer. I think God wants us to help write our own Bible, our own book, our own thing, or have our, ooh, my ears ringing, have our own interpersonal Bible, our own inner connection with, you know, our Creator, how we express it. I don't think unconditional love is, to me, you know, that's different for every person on this planet. And who am I to tell you what you should and how you should love God and do whatever? You do what you like. I just hope it doesn't hurt other people. Okay. Two of Cups and the Knight of Wands here. Someone does have strong feelings for you, Aries. But they're hiding them with the Three of Wands in reverse. They want to tell you, but they know that you are on this. You could be moving too. I don't know. You talk about moving. You could be moving here in the future. With the Six of Swords, you could physically be moving. And then you got the Page of Swords. Yeah, it's kind of like you. Yeah. Oh, someone doesn't want you to move, but they won't tell you that. They're afraid. They don't want you to move. They don't want to stand in your way. They don't want to stand in your happiness. I think these people, like, you're the kind of person where, you know, once your mind is made up, it's made up. So them even saying anything ain't gonna do nothing but just make you want to go even harder for it. The Three of Pentacles here. Yeah, you're being recognized for whatever work you do. The Three and the Seven of Pentacles. You're walking into the Ten of Pentacles here. You're walking into a legacy. You are building generational wealth. You're building generational wealth, abundance here, and you know, riches, a family, a legacy, contributors, contributions, whatever the fuck you're doing, keep doing it because you look good, baby. And you got yellow everything. Fear can be defeated through confidence. The more confidence you build in yourself and your abilities to be the fuck who you know you are, the quicker we'll turn this Emperor and Queen of Pentacles around. Because right now, people know that you can kind of come off as this, a little, don't, you know, you fought to get to where you are, and maybe, you know, you're someone who is so strong and you never want to appear weak or, you know, someone that could be easily taken advantage of. But with the Emperor in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles, people might see you as someone who could be a little overly ambitious, a little tight-fisted. Maybe you work very hard, but I don't feel like you are, but some people, I don't know. People don't like to ask you for shit, but they ask you for shit. That's weird. It's like, because they know how hard you work, and like you've been working really hard on yourself. I don't know. And maybe sometimes people feel like they can't compete with you. They can't keep up with you. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to nurture you. They don't know how to comfort you. People don't know how to make you feel better because you've always been the one that made other people feel better for some reason. Like, you're not the one that needs a shoulder to cry on. You're the shoulder to cry on. But now, you know, and you don't even need a shoulder to cry on right now. The thing is, you've always been your own shoulder to cry on. And people don't know how you do that. I don't know why that just flew out here. Because I think because you're leaving, like you're about to leave. I don't know what's going on, but I do see a lot of you moving either for like a job. The devil at the bottom of the deck. Why did the devil card just scare me? Is this the Tower? Oh, it's the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Oh my God, these tarot cards are trying to. Boo! You just flipped the deck over, and this is the devil just. Oh, that made me laugh. Okay. The devil. Boo. He's funny. He's a funny card. Yeah. And he's like, you have to listen. I don't know. I think if I could make one suggestion to the world, it would just be to stop taking everything so fucking seriously. Because it's just life, okay? You're just gonna die. I mean, that sounded kind of bad if you were to clip that just by itself. But if you look at the entire context of what I'm about to say, you know, we spend so much time worrying over things that won't even matter in 10, 5 minutes, hours, days. You know what I mean? If we would just focus on what we truly care about, the connections that truly matter to us, and we didn't focus on the people we didn't like, and we doubled down on the people we did like, things would be better. Because even if you could say, well, that's not reality, that's not realistic, yeah, but at the end of the day, is it better to be right or to be happy? Would you rather be miserable but be right in the argument and never, talk to the person for 50 years? Or would you rather concede, admit that you are wrong or could possibly be wrong here, and make 50 years of great memories with someone? How many people out there right now not talking to their friends, me included, their family members, because y'all don't want to be wrong, you want to be right? Or you don't want to be loved, you just want to be right. You'd rather risk just, I'm sorry I wasn't around when you were little, I was too busy being mad at your mom about stupid shit. Or like that could literally save you 30 years of just never seeing somebody. But some people don't want to do that. I'm sorry, when those comments I made them out of anger, and I wasn't thinking straight, and I should have never said that, and it makes me sick to my stomach to think that I could call you that. And I'm working hard to see things differently because you mean that much to me. And I want to make this better. Something like that could really, and you follow through with actions, right? A lot of people just don't. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to address it. And here's what I've learned. Here's what I'm learning. People who don't want to address the things that they've done, I'm learning that, what, you don't always have to just cut them out. You can just keep it very brief and casual, and just know that that's just exactly what it's going to be forever now. It's just that brief and casual and it's not even like because to me it shows that, like, okay, you don't want to acknowledge or have a conversation about this, and I don't want to force you to do something you don't want to do. We can't. At least we know that, like, your pride means more than, trying to come to an agreement with this relationship, other than me submitting and just kissing your butt and licking your ass and, kissing the ring finger. Like, I'll give you the middle finger. How about that? Instead of kissing your ring finger, I'll just flip you the bird and keep on going. Because man, I'm telling you, you left this group, you started focusing on you started watering the seeds in your fucking garden, stop watering everybody else's fucking shit, and you turned it to your own shit. You were so busy fixing everybody else's landscape, or your shit was in fucking disarray, and you couldn't get no more than 2 people to come over and even help you a little bit, but you built their whole lawn. It's just, and it's like people expected you to keep yourself down and, like, make them small. It was like you were supposed to be okay with being a side character in your own life story. Yeah, and I feel like you're moving away here to protect your peace, here to reclaim your own energy. It's the only way you can protect your peace, is to leave. Energetically, mentally, physically, emotionally, however you need to leave. I feel like you are going to do that. King of Swords here. And you're going to evolve quickly from the page to the King of Swords. Wow. You have deep wisdom headed towards you here. Deep understanding here. Understanding is important, because understanding is like empathy meets logic. Because it's one thing to know why people do what they do. Yeah, we know that there's a lot of people who, steal. They steal food. They steal things, right? Because of poverty or whatever. But to understand what it's like to actually be in that position where, like, well, you could always get this. There's so many food pantries and people just don't want this and da. But then it was like, okay, well, what if, you actually get there and a lot of it, it's spoiled. You didn't get there in time, so you didn't actually get your bag that day. You need a little bit extra, it's hell. Sometimes you had a bad day and maybe you just, I don't know. You know what I mean? You start rationalizing why it's okay to steal food when you look at these, American greed business Shark Tank, and you see all these people who are just like, wow, like how is this any different than when I go to the grocery store and let's say instead of ringing up 5.99 Honeycrisp apples, I type in 1.99 Pink Lady at the self checkout. Is anyone really gonna be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, ooh. You know what I mean? But like, we praise people who figured out how to evade and reduce their tax, deficits or their taxable income. Donate, round your change up at McDonald's so they can call that a charitable donation that you paid for on their behalf to get them corporate tax breaks. And I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. It just, that's what I like to, that's what I say to myself when I say no. But I will say this: if it's St. Jude, this is something about the terminal kid can't. It's doesn't just make it. Damn it, that one just touches me. Kid can't. It just That's that one makes me sad. That's one. I like animals and all, but let's get people. Let's get, I'm not saying we shouldn't focus on animals. I'm just saying that let's focus on our species and animals too. Animals, we gotta take care of the animals. I'm not saying, fuck the animals, but see people drive past homeless people on the side of the road or unhoused people. Sorry, unhoused people, because they're not homeless, they're unhoused. Victims of unhousing. Yeah, there we go. And they see a little chihuahua with three arms. They're just bawling and bawling and bawling, and I don't know. That's an empathy thing for me. It's like I get people suck sometimes, but not having empathy for people completely just kind of like that kind of terrifies me when I see people who are like that. I don't know. No judging, just observing. And I think that's what this Page of Swords and this King of Swords is about. That was a very long tangent, but I like how I turned it back in. This Page of Swords and King of Swords is, you went from an observer to understanding how people, and you don't see these as bad people, you just see them as people who are different. They have a different philosophy, they have a different belief system here, you're Jewish, they're Christian, but, it's no animosity between you or them, you or in a race, you could be someone who was like, I'm never going to marry someone of a different race or the same race, and you just like, you have a flop. You've expanded your beliefs. You understand why people do things that maybe you wouldn't do. You can understand why someone would choose to marry someone of a different religion or a race or political affiliation. I feel like of those three, like, different religion, race, or political affiliation, I think the most difficult one for me, would be political affiliation, honestly, because I feel like that is, so let me know what you think. Someone might say race, someone might say religion. So it just depends on the individual and how that individual prioritizes what is important to them. So when I say, don't take life so serious, I mean, we all prioritize things differently, and just because you prioritize religion at the top, is in your top 5, don't mean that's in everybody's top 5. You could be the biggest Mariah Carey and Beyonce fan, and they may be in your top 5, but they not in my top 5. Okay, and it doesn't make their music any less good. It doesn't make it better if they're in everybody but mine. It's just that's not my preference, and everyone's allowed to be that. And that's what the Page to the King of Swords is that understanding through the experience of growing and learning as you go through life. You've done that. You've done a lot of growth, a lot of healing here. You know what? I'm always so hesitant to do these readings late at night because I'm like, I don't know why. I say that every time, like, I'm going to do a short reading. And then I look up in the timer and it's like at 30 minutes. I'm telling y'all, when I get in flow, I get in flow. Y'all, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for returning after my little 2-day stint. I know some of y'all probably missed me if y'all even noticed. But I was like, no, I'm going to go visit, and I don't want to take a break. I don't want to like just be sitting here recording and not, being present with my friend. And it didn't seem right to me, so I decided to give a little break. I've been doing good. You guys have been doing good. We've been having a good time here, right? I hope so. Drop down in the comments. Let me know how this reading resonated with you. Leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so here. I see the moon and the 7 of Wands here, so... And there's the Devil and the 2 of Cups floating around here. Somebody here is trying to deliver a message. Oh, it's gonna... Somebody here was under a spell. The spell has been lifted here. This 8 of Swords in reverse. Someone here was under some spell work. Somebody was in someone's ear. Somebody was controlling them, how they saw you, how they interacted with you here. Don't talk to Aries. Aries is on some other shit. They got a real mean spirit. They got a real nasty. They a little bipolar. They a little this. They a little that. They a little this. They a little that. They a little this. They a little that. That. Like, it's just... Somebody here was very in someone's ear towards you. And this person may have formed an opinion about you that wasn't true here. And once again, from that page to that King of Swords, people's impressions of you, how people see you. You are someone who is a good hard worker. You're someone who takes time to think things through. You're not as impulsive. And see, what happened was when you start fucking with those people that was talking shit about you, it helped the people around them see, oh, okay, so they were the problem. You weren't the problem. It was actually them. Okay, yeah. So that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense why 7 people would try to say that you were the problem. Okay. And it's almost kind of weird to say that out loud, because why would 7 people get together to make you the problem? You know what I mean? Because we tend to have this mindset of like, if everybody's saying it, it must be true. But in the grand scheme of things, those 6 of those people were being manipulated by the ringleader here. Ooh, there we found Ace of Cups. Now this ringleader has to come and offer you... No, fuck that. The universe is coming in. The Holy Spirit source here is filling these people's heart with love for you. We did you wrong, Aries. Ooh, yes. The Holy Spirit is showing people, actually, Aries is a loving person. Aries is someone who works hard and they hold on to the people they love. And they walked away not because they didn't love, but because they were tired of hurting. They were tired of being hurt by people who claim to love them. Your love shouldn't hurt. Why does your roses have so many thorns? It was just like, why was this so hard? Yeah, and here's the 7 of Cups, 7 swords, because there was someone here being deceptive. There was someone here being manipulative. I told you there were 7 people here, 7 swords. Well, 2 of them still on some other shit, but 5 people are starting to realize that this ain't, Aries was not that problem. I don't know how, but you walked away feeling like you was the problem here. Okay, the situation, a family dynamic, a group. These people ostracized you. And even if they didn't ostracize, I've said that word right, but you know what I mean. These people try to single you out. Devil was always hanging out. And he about to make his motherfucking swan song not, I guess that wouldn't be his debut. I guess the Swan Song is your last one, right? Yeah, his last one. He can do his big one and exit. The devil is coming back. Ugh. Guess who's back? Back again. Devil's back. Ooh, and he's coming through work. He's coming in through work. What are you talking about, Willis? Let me explain to you. Because look, I don't know, I'm just feeling like colors are starting to mean a lot more to me now. Just for this, no. There's a lot of similarities in these cards, though, right? The devil also represents vanity and pride. A lot of people here now have a lot of pride in their work. I'm a doctor. I'm a physician assistant. I'm a this. I'm a pharmacy tech. I'm a nurse. Nursing life. Teacher's life. I'm a teacher. I'm a principal. That's the devil. That's ego. Not necessarily like the devil doesn't always mean like, you know, I'm gonna poke you with a pitchfork and terrify you. And the devil just means attachment, right? And fears help keep us attached and help us keep us in a low vibrational state. So fear is a great tool for the devil, but it's not necessarily all the devil's tricks. The devil has few tricks, okay? You know, he's clever, but he has few tricks, okay? So I'm seeing the theme of the black and the gray here, and if you were to invert the colors and look, you got the little, come on now, there's the pentacles, there's the stuff. You know what I mean? The pentagram are in the pentacles, right? This is the devil's playground. Just because they're being represented in the higher expression doesn't mean that it's not always represented in a negative expression. Hello? Hiding in plain sight, okay? Attachments. These are not just coincidences of the world, y'all. These things coincide. Coincidence? I'm just kidding. Okay, that one was just me being stupid. Stupid. Stew. The word stew means to think, ponder, pid. Someone who, I don't know. Okay, I'm done. I'm done there. The devil here is coming through work. It's coming through because that's where you feel attached the most, is to this fucking job. So, you know, these work people are emulating, representing negative family members, your relationships. Everything is going to change once you get out of a situation. And here's the thing. I had to cut myself off because you're being glorified. You're being celebrated for your work. But the devil gonna try to sneak in through the work. Make you prideful. Yeah. All this infighting here. Avoiding, like, it's just, be careful. Just be careful here. I feel like you got people who you work with here who want to, I don't know what they want to do. But just be careful when it comes to dealing with people. I feel like you are definitely, you're leveling up. Whatever it is that you're doing, you're walking away, you're leveling up. Overall, balance. Stabilizing. Two of Pentacles here. You're stabilizing your spiritual, practical, financial, emotional, logical, analytical, whatever you want to call it. You're now turning into the wise mind. The rational and the emotional mind balanced. The Ace of Swords, truth. Someone here who knows how to decipher fact from fiction, how to see through the BS. You know, you're going to be able to, that's not what happened. Boom. Like, you are a force to be reckoned with here. And you're going to be, self-mastery here. Crowning oneself. You have success. You have victory with the laurel leaves. I don't know what those look like little lemon things. I don't know what they are. I want to figure out what them little yellow slices are in tarot, because I could never figure them out. But yeah, you're going to be good. You got this, okay? All right, well, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching this video. to do on your way out. Until next time, I love you guys. Drink water, be safe, and peace.